So you've summoned the likes of Arjuna Altar, but unfortunately spent a good portion of your St. Quartz savings. Or perhaps Arjuna came in the first few multis, and you walked away feeling pretty good about your remaining quartz, only to be tempted by that Vixen Nero bride, which may not have been in your plan, and now your quartz is running pretty low. What happens now? Will you have enough time to save for the next priority banner on your list? Or perhaps you're a newer player, just trying to figure out how many St. Quartz you can save for that Space Ishtar everyone seems to mention. Well, there is a tool that you may find incredibly useful. What's good, my fellow masters? Welcome to FGO Adventures. And this is something I've been wanting to share for quite a while. It's a website that I've been using to help me figure out how many St. Quartz I can save for a particular banner or within a particular time frame. The site is called Fate Save Calculator, which I stumbled upon early when I first started playing FGO. I'll have a link to the site in the description, but let's go ahead and take a look at it. To be candid, I mostly buy my St. Quartz, but that is just actually from my main account. I do have an alternate account that uses mainly free-to-play St. Quartz, excluding GSSRs, so this site comes in really handy for planning out which banners I can roll for. Now this first section here is fairly straightforward and controls essentially where you would input the time frame that you're looking to save St. Quartz. It asks for currently held SQ, held tickets, start date, end date, and then it will pump out the number of days until the banner that you are targeting. So for the purposes of an example, I'm going to use the Merlin banner coming up in Summer 4 because that's one of my targets, both for my main account and for my alternate account. And let's just go with 90 St. Quartz held and say 5 tickets left over from last month. And then the saving start date will go with July 16th. Now for the banner end date, I'm going to enter it as August 29th. Which I'm estimating based on when JP had this banner run in 2019. And as you can see here, we have 45 days until the banner. So as we go just below the first section here, we have a summary of SQ earned from various sources. And it goes over the master missions, 3 SQ per week. And as we can see here, we've gained 18 SQ based on the number of days until the banner end date that we've inputted. Total logins from our master profile, which is something that we would need to input or you would need to input. And for an example, I'm just going to put in 334. And as you can see here, we've gained 30 SQ because within that time frame, I am going to hit the 50-day threshold that gives you 30 SQ, which is great. And then here we have the daily logins. It basically just says that it's going to count an average of 1 SQ per day, and tickets count as 3 SQ. You can change it if you want to count tickets as SQ or not. I tend to leave it as is, just to give me an overall consistency, since the output doesn't actually give you a ticket count. But based off of the daily login rewards, to the end date, we would gain 43 SQ, or 43 SQ and equivalent number of tickets. The second section, pardon me, is prediction based. So you would need to input some figures and perhaps do some extrapolation on your own. Shop tickets, how many tickets per month that we're getting from the Da Vinci shop. That's easy. We input 5, we're getting 5 tickets. We're going to keep those 5 tickets every month in between the start date and the banner end date that we've set. Bond and quest. Now this is something that you would have to look at on a individual count basis. check your servants to see who's just about to level up with their bond. Do you have any free quests left to farm? So on and so forth. And what I'm going to put down here is just 14 St. Quartz from the Summer 3 event. And then event promo and maintenance, I guess the 14 St. Quartz would have gone here, but I mainly focus on, promo and maintenance here. There's not much time left between the end of Summer 3 and the beginning of Summer 4. We know that there's going to be a maintenance period for Summer 4, so at least 4 St. Quartz here. And that would be it. Then we get to basically the totaling here and what type of summoning that we're going to do, but I'm going to leave this section for just a little bit. Just wanted to highlight that based on the numbers we've inputted from the first section, from the cumulative login, from the prediction-based St. Quartz that we've estimated, we're looking at 229. We'll have 229 St. Quartz by the time of the last day of Merlin's banner. Now, this section here deals with more on the chances of getting the SSR that you're targeting. And it's not just SSR, you can change it here from 5-star to 4 stars, and you can see that the chance changes based off of the different rate up percentages between 4-star and 5-star servants. But going back to 5-star, and changing, or at least confirming, that how many servants are with the same rarity on the rate up in this banner. We're just going to have one. It's Merlin, and it's telling us that we have at least a 41.3% chance of summoning one copy of Merlin, utilizing 229 St. Quartz and St. Quartz equivalent of golden tickets. We can summon 76 times, and our chance of, it gives you a percentage on getting spooked. So a non-rate up cert of the same rarity. So to get a SSR spook, we have about just over a 20% chance. And that's where I find that this is really effective. Not only to at least tell me how many St. Quartz I'll have, or that I'll be able to save in the time frame that I've set, but also how effective those St. Quartz can be. So a 41% chance, or just over a 41% chance, is not bad, but I would rather it be at least 50%. That's always been my threshold for targeting a banner for any SSR. Because if we just increase this, let's say you had saved up 150 St. Quartz, utilizing the same time frame, all the other variables, we're now looking at a 49%, so almost 50%. And we can see here that it's we would have 289 St. Quartz by the time of the last day of the banner, because essentially we are looking at pushing the saving up to the very last moment, so that you would have as many St. Quartz as possible when you're rolling. It does have approximation notes that basically just tells you it's not 100% accurate, but it's very close. What I also found is that it's only factoring in a 10 shot multi, and so your chances are actually slightly higher. But again, everything should be taken with a grain of salt. I don't fully claim to know or understand the math behind the odds and the 1% standard rate for an SSR, so I can't really speak to the total accuracy of this approximation, this calculation here. And of course, all of us know of or have heard of someone who spent 1,000 quartz and ended up with nothing but Mabu Tofu CEs. In fact, if any of you follow Plushie Mistress, I believe he had just experienced a very, very devastating gacha session trying to get the Fairy Knight Lancelot, which was very unfortunate. I felt really bad for him with that. Obviously, the RNG plays a critical factor, and using myself as an example, I may get Merlin in only a few multis, or I could spend the entire 289 Saint Quartz that it's calculated here and have nothing. It is that one of those things. It's a coin flip even at 50%. But from my experience on banners and watching other YouTubers, when things aren't on the outlier, like spending thousands of quartz and getting nothing, these calculations do pretty much fit with my experience. That if I'm going for an SSR and I pump in at least 330 Saint Quartz, I'll have a better than 50% chance of pulling that SSR. And more often than not, that's what I've experienced. I'll get it either within 300 Saint Quartz, or it'll be on the very last pull. Sometimes I'll have to splurge a little bit more and add another pack, but I get the SSR one or two multis later. So within a margin of error for this approximation. Again, this is just a tool and something to at least let you know that how well or how good are your chances of getting the SSR that you're pulling for with a certain amount of Saint Quartz. The other thing that I like is that you can use this tool to play out scenarios. So let's just say here that Merlin took everything from me. I have nothing left, and I need to start saving again. I'm saving for Space Ishtar this time, so we'll just put saving start date at the end of Merlin's banner, or the approximate date that I've set for Merlin's banner. And for Space Ishtar, looking at our trusty fandom site, the JP date had it at October 30th for Saber Wars 2 to November 13th. So we'll use this, and we'll use November 13th as our banner ending. The very last day that we can roll for Space Ishtar. So from the end of Merlin's banner to the end of, supposedly, of Space Ishtar's banner, we're looking at 77 days of until the banner thing. And based off of the master missions, we'll have gained 33 Saint Quartz. Based off of the cumulative total logins, forgive my pronunciation there. Based off the total logins of 334, of course this is counting from this date, we'll have gained 60 Saint Quartz, and the daily logins show us that we'll have gained 77 more Saint Quartz. Bonds and quests, we don't really know how much we'll get. Again, that's on a per count basis. You'd have to look at do you have any more interludes that you can do? Do you have more servants that will be leveling up in their bond? And then events and promos. Well, Space Ishtar, let's just say we have Battle of New York, 1, 2, we have 3 events, 3 maintenance that we can pretty much count on. So we'll put that at an estimated 12 SQ right there. And so by the time we get there, from the end of Merlin's banner to the end of Space Ishtar's banner, we'll have 227 Saint Quartz. And I like to use that as a worst case scenario. What happens if all the St. Quartz that I saved up is eaten by a particular banner like Merlin's? I'm hoping he'll come within, the first few multis, but you never know what will happen. And at least now I can figure out, okay, I'll still have a chance to roll for Space Ishtar and have a somewhat decent chance of actually summoning her. This also helps with those temptations. Let's say you had your heart set on Space Ishtar. You have 550 St. Quartz, and starting from today, there's no one else that you want to roll for. However, Musashi catches your eye, and you're like, okay, what if you set aside 300 St. Quartz to roll for Musashi, and you roll and it takes 300 quartz, but you do end up getting her, hopefully. But then that leaves you with only 250 St. Quartz left from your original Space Ishtar budget. This is where I find it also very helpful to see, or to run this scenario before I actually roll for Musashi. What if she takes all 300 St. Quartz of the budget? I only have 250 left for Space Ishtar. How much from the time of rolling for Musashi, which we'll say is August 29th, same as Merlin's end date, to November 13th of Space Ishtar. It's banner. Again, we're at 77 days. That hasn't changed. But at least you'll be able to see, okay, so from 250 St. Quartz that you have left on hand, you'll gain another 33 from the master missions. You'll, based off of this particular total login number, you'll gain another 60 SQ, and then we'll gain 77 more SQ from the daily login rewards, factoring in the tickets as SQ. And if we factor in nothing else, just the shop tickets, then it shows us that we'll have 465 St. Quartz left by the time, or St. Quartz accumulated, plus tickets, or including tickets, I should say, by the time Space Ishtar's last day of the banner that we've indicated will set, and that gives us a fairly decent chance of summoning her. So that is information that helps you to decide, okay, I can afford 300 St. Quartz to spend on Summer Musashi, and I'll still have enough time to gain back a fairly decent amount of St. Quartz to roll for Space Ishtar. And in that, I use this tool a lot. So that's pretty much it for Faint Save Calculator. Quite a fitting name. I found it useful for both helping me to plan and budget free-to-play St. Quartz on my alternate account, and also to get an idea of what kind of odds I have for a given St. Quartz amount. I certainly hope this is helpful information to many of you, and that's all I have for this particular video. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and leave a comment below. Is this something that you were already aware of? Is this a tool that you find interesting? And thank you for watching. I certainly hope you found this informative, and we'll see you in the next one.